Hey, what's up, fellas? How you doing? Man, Antonelli here.
Hey, what's going on, guys? How we doing? Man, Antonelli here. So today we're answering your questions. You guys sent in questions on YouTube and Instagram, and so we're going to go one by one. I'm down in my basement, a little bit easier to film down here instead of being in the facility. We still have to wear masks in there, and so it makes it a little bit easier to film here. So we're going to get into it today. Today's question is asking what's the best piece of hitting advice that I got from a major league coach about my swing. And so this actually, the best piece of advice I got while in the major leagues was actually from a teammate, not from a coach. And so we're going to talk about that. That teammate became a major league coach. And so it kind of works for the question, but we're going to get into that. If you've enjoyed this video and want to learn more about building the elite swing, check out our new course. We have over 2 hours of content, almost 30 hitting drills. We break down the exact mechanics that you're going to want to implement into your swing. I've put the link in the description if you want to go check it out. Okay, so the advice that I got first was from Sean Wooten. I've talked about him in a few other videos. Sean was my teammate with the Padres, and what he really explained to me, this is when I started to struggle in 2008. I was drafted in the first round. I hit really well in high school and college, and then got drafted and hit well my first 2 years. And then all of a sudden in 2008, I kind of completely forgot how to swing. It started at the end of 2007 and then went into 2008. And Sean was really the first person that made me aware of the actual swing. And that might sound crazy because in today's world, there's so much talk about the swing, right? We talk about it all the time on our videos. There's so many devices that measure what's happening in the swing. And so in 2021, a lot of people, even young players, understand the swing. They understand bat path. They understand what they're trying to do. That was not the case back in 2008. I wasn't talked to very much about the swing. All that I was really ever talked to, and most of our players were talked to, was approach. What you're trying to do, what you're thinking in your mind, not so much what is your body doing. We didn't get a whole lot of video. I really never looked at my swing. I've talked about before, in college, our swings were still on like VHS tapes. And so, we didn't look at swings very much. And so when I started to struggle, I had no idea what was happening in my swing. I didn't know why I was struggling. I had no clue. And no one really could tell me. Everyone gave me really simple things like keep your head down on the ball, stay inside the ball, stop trying to pull the ball, stop trying to hit the ball in the air, hit a ground ball hard. Like all these things that they were telling me to try to do, but they weren't really breaking down my swing and what was actually happening in my swing. And Sean was the first person that came around and said, until you change your swing to, and then he talked to me about, we started off with simple things like bat path, something that I really hadn't been talked to about before. Again, people would say stay inside the ball, stay short to the ball, but no one really talked about bat path, and no one talked about how to really get myself to stay inside the ball. And so that was the biggest change for me. When Sean explained these things and then showed me, we watch video, right? So we start watching a lot of video, and I start to see what players actually look like when they're about to launch their swing, and what does their bat look like as it's coming through the zone, and all these things. And we're watching all of these major leaguers, and then we're watching my video, and we're comparing and we're contrasting, and we're talking about posture and all of these things. For the first time, I'm getting talked to about actual swing mechanics. And again, not the simple, like, you've got to swing like this, you've got to stay inside the ball and on top. And, a lot of those, again, are more feel things. It's not what's actually happening. And I needed to know what was actually supposed to happen so that I could watch myself do it and say, wow, I'm not doing that. That's when the light bulb went off. That's when we started to really work on things. And that's when I went from hitting literally 160 in AAA as a number 2 prospect with the Padres, supposed to get called up to the major leagues. I'm hitting 160. The last month of the year, I hit 300. I hit more home runs in the last month of the year than I had the whole season. And I kind of went back to being able to hit again. And that was all because Sean explained to me that the swing actually matters, that mechanics actually matter. Sounds crazy that happened at that level, but that is what happened. So the suggestion that I give to kids is to make sure that they understand their swing. First, understand a swing. What is a swing supposed to look like? What are some characteristics of a really good swing? And then learn their swing and see, am I doing these things? And if I'm not, why am I not? What am I doing? So we put out a lot of videos on swings. Now, people will fight sometimes and say, just see the ball, hit the ball. Don't worry about your swing. That's kind of what I was told in 2008. Just see it and hit it. You're overthinking things. But I know from experience that if your swing doesn't work, and you just say, well, I'm just going to see the ball and hit the ball, you're going to see the ball and you're not going to hit the ball, because it comes down to your swing. Now, hitting is important, of course, and so you need to have an approach, and those things do matter. But those, you can think approach and all that stuff all day long. If you don't have a swing that's going to work, you're not going to hit, right? And so that's what got me interested in the swing. And that's what really made a difference for me, because I went 4 months just thinking about, just hit a ground ball over here, or try to hit a line drive there, or, don't think about too much, just focus on the ball, and nothing ever changed. The only time something changed is when somebody said, your swing stinks, and it ain't gonna work at this level, right? Your swing might have worked last year, but it ain't working this year. And that's another thing I learned, that swings change, right? Just because you can hit one day, or you hit for a year, or you hit for, however long, doesn't mean you're always going to hit. Swings do change. And, I've talked before, when I was with the Padres, they started to wonder what the hell's going on with this guy. They sent me to a sports psychologist to try to get inside my brain and all this stuff. My swing had changed. And that happens, right? And so, just because you hit well now doesn't mean you're always going to hit well. You need to understand your swing so that when things don't go well, you can figure out, how do I get back to doing what I did before? That's really, really important also. With me, people are going to say, well, you just couldn't hit at AAA. That's why. You could hit at every other level, but AAA was so hard, you went from a 300 hitter to a 150 hitter. I don't buy that. I played at AAA. The pitching, was it better than AA? I don't know. They mixed it up a little bit more, but don't tell me that I was a 300 hitter my whole life, and then all of a sudden I was a 150 hitter because the level was too hard. Because years that I actually got my swing fixed, I gave the example of my last year in 2008, I was a 300 hitter. In 2011, when I got back fully healthy again, I was a 300 hitter, like in AAA. So my point is, you've got to have your swing, and swings do matter. And Sean helped me realize that. Hopefully that makes sense. Long-winded answer there, but thanks so much for the question. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, give it a thumbs up, all that good stuff, and we'll talk to you later.